All right, good morning, everybody. We are looking at the first of 4 races this weekend, if you include the F1 race. At least we have 2 races a day here. For the Truck Series, we'll talk about it, but we'll kind of go over it pretty quickly. We'll mainly focus on the Xfinity Series. I'm hoping not to keep you guys here for too long. Now, for trucks, as we've seen in the past, real fast, real quick rewind for chalk at the Truck Series level in the Pocono race. It's happened multiple times to where the main chalk ends up just being taken out. If you remember, I think it was 2020, Matt Crafton was a huge chalk. I think we had Cody Ribble, huge chalk as well. They got taken out in a lap 1 crash. We've had other situations to where chalk has been destroyed here at Pocono. Whether it's place differential, whether it's somebody fast starting in the middle of the pack, whatever the case may be. That's just what happens. I'm not going to really worry about that. I've been on the bad side of that each time at Pocono in the Truck Series, but that's just where we're at. I am playing Dean Thompson. I'm playing Ty Majeski. I'm playing Christian Eckes. When we look at here, let me bring this up. So when we look at the practice data, which thank you AD for abnormally distributed for pulling this stuff because I was busy, so I just got this from his sheet. Clearly I take out the bad laps, but when you let's go through and just look real fast. I understand Norm, I understand Brian, these guys aren't in the race, but look at this. I mean, Norm was running over 1 second laps, like it's 1983. But look at the speed that these cars have. Chastain, the Nice cars do not have the speed, but Garcia just had a flying Q lap. But look at where these guys are at averages. 56 laps, 55 laps. Okay, or high. This is a second slower than Christian Eckes. This is a pretty big gap between Dean Thompson. Even in these runs here, I mean, this is including, and this could be traffic being involved in the lap and things of that nature. But Dean is faster than at least 12 cars that he's starting behind. Eckes is faster than at least half the field. Ty Majeski, when you look at Majeski, the only reason he's starting back here is because he got a tire go down. Majeski is here. Okay? Just look at the speeds. These guys are literally 0.8 to a second faster on the first lap than where these guys are. I mean, these guys are doing 54s, 55s. These guys are doing 56s, high 56s, 57s. It's not even a... It's not even the same level. Yet again, you can't fake speed here to track like this. And if you're a slow car, you're just gonna be slow. Okay, these guys just have to survive the restarts. Dean, worst case scenario, is gonna be a 19th place car. Ty Majeski, worst case scenario, gets up to 16th. Christian Eckes goes from 35th to 20th. Well, guess what? That 15 place differential points from Eckes, that 14 whatever from Ty, that 11 whatever from Dean, that's enough to get it done at their prices with how this race is. The race is only 60 laps. The finishing positions and the place differential indicate a huge priority over the fast laps and lap sled stuff. So for me, due to that, I believe everybody should just play Dean Thompson, Ty Majeski, and Eckes. Now, Dean has absolutely fucking crushed us each week. Every single race. I think I've gone one race without playing Dean, and I've enjoyed the joys of him scoring. Where are we at? Dean. I mean, this main man, an average DraftKings points of 13.5, -5, 11, -11, 48, -4, 51, -1, 37, 48, 5, -7, -2, 36, -12. I'm hoping that people are just like, I'm done with Dean. I'm not playing Dean. He's not working out. So, I mean, I'll just be on the fucking Dean wagon again. And then, when he wrecks himself, just how it is. Thank God at least he ran the ARCA race today, and he only nearly wrecked once. So hopefully that helps him out a little bit. Just survive. Dean, just get through the race, please. Past that. If you and I have projections that are way higher than what SaberSim has for all 3 of these guys. I might be on the higher end of this one here of thinking that these guys are going to get through, but I think all 3 of them are optimal. And so with that, we're building with 3 guys. Pretty much we're building like a 3-driver lineup. I'm probably going to play Nick in one of the lines. I haven't decided what I want to do because this is where I'm at. I think we're going to see a lot of duplicated lineups today, and I'll look at chat in a second. So we have Eckes, we have Majeski, we have Thompson. I'm assuming that people are probably going to go Rhodes if you're running this build because you can afford Rhodes. Rhodes is typically just kind of always qualifies kind of shitty. Let me go down here. When we look at Rhodes, not the fastest guy. But look, 14th just on average time. Actually, that's 13th on average time. I mean, decent laps. Like these aren't bad. Certainly better than some of these other scrubs in the back. So look, he goes from 22nd to 13th. You know, on like a baseline run. You're probably gonna have Rhodes in this lineup, and then you're left with two remaining guys. And so like, and typically I do this more whenever the builds are looking like we're gonna have a lot of duplicated lineups. So this leaves you 7850 left over. I am probably gonna play this with Nick in there, and I'm not sure what I want to do with the fifth guy here, because I think this is gonna be a pretty chalky line. I think we're gonna see a lot of duplicated lineups in the Truck Series race today. Maybe you want to do the 4. Maybe you just want to stick to the $3 3 entry. I just foresee a lot of duplicated lines. Then secondly, if one of these guys just ends up getting fucked and wrecked and stuff, like I really don't want to. Especially in a Truck Series race with like big name fast cars in the back of the field, I really don't want to fade them and just completely get fucked when they just get up to 23rd and they're optimal, just based on what everybody else is doing. So it's pretty rough, man. I think I'm going to go Nick here. Anyway, the reason I'm talking about this is because this is leaving you. We're at 72 with this here. Actually, with Nick is 72. Okay. I think this is going to be. I think this type of build has a really high chance of being optimal today. The reason I'm discussing the lineup in this detail is because I believe that this will probably be ran as a train by several people. If we're getting different with the last guy. Like who really do we fill out with this? You know, do you do Garcia, who's starting second, who has a chance, who has shown speed in the intermediates, getting fast laps led, but he's just not that fast. I have Garcia staying in the top 5 just to have him compete projection wise, but I don't feel very confident playing Nick and Garcia in the same thing. I assume people are going to probably go Ankrum to fill this lineup out. Because in Saber Sim, that was the 4th highest scoring line, just swapping out Garcia for Ankrum. Tanner and Tyler Gray, you know, practice speed is not indicating that they're going to move up to the top 7, which would push one of them into being optimal to fight with what Ankrum can do starting from 18th, because we typically see Ankrum basically just start 18th every fucking week. And all he does is just get up to like 10th, 8th. Sometimes it's 15th or some. I mean, he's 72. So what is that? 30. He needs 37 points. I mean, it's probably going to be very easy for Ankrum to get that 37 points today, and so on and so forth. As you continue to go down, you know, you got Colby Howard starting 26. You got Caden Honeycutt in the 44 machine, which is the first time Nice has entered this card this year. It's an unsponsored ride. But Caden has talent. He has ability. He's starting 17th. He said that he got in traffic each time on the track, and so his practice speed wasn't exactly what he wanted. But when look at these laps, these aren't bad. Even take out like that is, you know, that's 55-second laps. Just these here, you know. Does Caden have the speed to get there? It's an unsponsored 44 car. I would prefer, and I don't know if people, what is he ranked in practice speed? Because typically people don't look at the laps, they look at the practice speed. So let me see where Caden filled out practice with, because that'll probably indicate if he's going to get played or not. Let's see. Practice results. This is typically what people look at. Please don't be a high, Caden. Please don't be high. So Caden's 16th. Okay, so that's a pretty big bonus, having him be 16th. That might not indicate or push a lot of people towards him. I think it's worth playing Caden. And I think it's worth playing Caden. I really do. So anywho, that's kind of my talk about the Truck Series. I think you're building. I think you're building with pretty much these three guys, possibly Rhodes. I think Caden is worth a shot. So that's kind of my 2 cents there. Anyway, let's look at the chat, see what you guys are saying this morning, and everything like that. What's going on, Days? Yeah. We'll see what Deegan does. What's up, Smoking Guns? Mainly, I mean, I think that's it for the Cup Series and stuff. I mean, for the Truck Series, the race is only 60 laps. We're probably going to run 40 of them under green, for anywhere from like 40 to 45. We'll probably at least lose 15 laps with the stages and just yellows, if not more. So there's a real chance place differential might just go through. Lawless Allen. I mean, I basically just and this is not mad at the comment. I'm answering this based on me. I basically just showed you what I'm running. I don't know how many lines I'm gonna do. I might do like 2 or 3. I'm not gonna fucking just go all wild. I think these are all gonna be fucking copied and stuff. But Lawless Allen, I don't really foresee much from Lawless Allen. The guy is one of the slowest cars on track. I'm not playing slow cars at Pocono. Like typically at a usual intermediate race, I'd love to play Tyler Hill. But the fact that they were just, he only ran 2 laps, ran into an issue, and didn't even take a Q. Like, I would say this: if you're considering Lawless Allen, just play Tyler Hill, man. I really would. Let's see what else we got. No Corey Heim, no cash. Where's Corey starting? So Corey is fighting directly with. He's fighting directly with Ben Rhodes at a pretty big discount at 8,700. He's fighting directly with Christopher Bell, even though Bell hasn't had a ton of speed. He's fighting directly with Kyle Busch. If you are considering Corey Heim, the projections don't show it, in my opinion, because Kyle Busch has the fastest truck. He's 13,000. Okay, when we look at what I have Busch projected for, I got Kyle finishing 4th today with 5 laps led and 8 fast laps. That's 51 points, 51.85 points. That is the outside of Majeski and Eckes, which, as I said, I'm pretty high on these guys. That roughly equivalates to, on my projections, the 4th highest. If you bump down Ty Majeski and Christian Eckes, that's the 2nd highest scoring driver. Because with this type of build, you're leaving money on the table. You can actually get up to Kyle Busch today and have him just get there on possible raw points. Especially if he wins the race. I don't have him to win the race, but Kyle has the fastest truck. It's not even fucking close. He's just kicking these guys up and down the street with the lap times. There's a potential that Kyle Busch can be optimal today at like a 3.9 value. So what I would do, because you brought up Corey Heim, if you have the money and you want to get up there, like I have Corey, I don't even tell you where I got Corey projected for. I got Corey for 6, 2 laps led, 3 fast laps. It's 42.85. If you're interested in Corey, if you can get there, I would actually play Kyle Busch instead and just get the raw points versus getting Corey, who I think is going to score 42 points, whereas Kyle Busch can probably score around 50 points, if not more, if he does end up winning the race, and he might still be optimal at. And we've seen, it's been a long time since we've seen this, because typically Kyle's lately been starting up front. But we've seen in the past, and this is going back 2021, 2020, 2019, Truck Series era, Kyle Busch. at 13,000, at 13,000, 12.5, 12.8. He would be optimal at like a 4.2 value. So that's my main response to the Corey Heim question. I think it'd be probably more advantageous to go up and build a Kyle Busch line. Because we're leaving anywhere from a few hundred to at least 1,500, 2,000, depending on who you go with this type of build. I might just use that money to get up to Kyle Busch. Let's see what else we got going on here. Taylor Gray yeah. I mean it's the main issue, which I've gotten into a lot of trouble doing this. I've absolutely pissed myself away of having. I think this one is. I think this one we're gonna have more trains. I remember last time was Phoenix for the Xfinity Series race last year, where I absolutely didn't play Raj Karut. I played LeBay over Raj. I had a low ownership, and I had the second or third highest scoring line and missed on the optimal, and the optimal split between like 6 people, and it was still like fucking $2,500. I don't know if it's gonna be here because I think this build might end up having like 20 to 30, maybe even 40 duplicates, depending on who it is. Specifically, if you go Ankrum, is it worth getting different? Because I think Ankrum works more than the Grays. Is it worth getting different to finish second, or to like have the second, third highest scoring lineup, and end up finishing 130th in the GPP, versus just missing out on like $500 for playing the optimal lineup? This is a tough one for that question, or for that answer, Sterling. I don't know. I think you can get into a lot of trouble today if you build a lot of lines. But even if you chase this type of build, if it doesn't end up being optimal, we might not even cash. Or which is so weird. I mentioned this yesterday. The Truck Series contest is paying out better. The $10 Truck Series contest pays out better percentage-wise than the $1.25. I don't understand why that is for the Truck Series. I don't get it. Anyway, I think both the Gray brothers are playable. That's going to be on you if you end up going there. Let's see. Pull for trucks: Kyle Busch, Heim, Majeski, Eckes, Chastain, Rhodes, Crafton, Thompson, Howard, Tyler Hill, Allen. I don't think you are, K. I think it's just flipping guys in. I think I'm going to play Caden today and try and get different that way. I think he has the ability to run very, very well. He's 6,300. I think he has a top 11 car, really. And if not, oh well. What's going on, Big? We'll talk about Xfinity in a second. But I think that's mainly it. If you take Rhodes out of this, because Rhodes truly might be not a trap, but when you look at Rhodes, his lap times aren't that stellar, especially compared with Majeski. Now, they might take something from Majeski and stuff like that. But, man, he's just so cheap. I don't understand why Rhodes is $8,700, man. I just don't get it at all. I don't understand. Is it his Pocono history? Like, what's going on here? Because look at his finishes. 5th, and this is just everything. All the big tracks, all the small tracks. But 5th, 9th, 7th, 1st, 33rd, 18th, 16th, 6th, 19th, 10th, 10th, 5th, 3rd, 11th. Why is he $8,700? Why do we have a misprice on Ben Rhodes here? I don't understand that at all. And this is Ben Rhodes on an intermediate track, on a track that strategy is going to play a huge part of. Like, why would you, like... I think Rhodes is there. But outside of Eckes, Majeski, and Thompson, I think the first guy I would get off of might be Rhodes if I was trying to get different here. And if that's the case, I would totally try and pay up for Kyle Busch. But I don't know. That's mainly my approach here. Or that's basically, I mean, oops, I'm typing on the wrong one. Which one am I typing on? That's mainly my approach for the Truck Series today, man. It's whatever you want to do with these last two guys. I think Nick has a real chance of getting there. If Nick gets moved back, then it's all open. Man, it's whoever the lap leader is, or it's whatever place differential comes through. And that's mainly it. Clearly I don't think we need to play Stephen Parsons. We're not playing Daniel Dye. I don't think I need to play Haley Deegan. I mean, possibly Crafton, possibly Howard, but we'll see. I mean, I think it's this 4 here that's going to be pretty highly duplicated. As I said, I'm already on the Dean Thompson train, so like, fuck it, Dean Thompson. Go ahead and wreck again, man. You've wrecked every fucking week I've played you, so like, it doesn't fucking matter. I've been through this song and dance before. I'm not too concerned about that. When we look at Xfinity Series, now this is the one that is a bit more fun for me, because, and we still, so yet again, thank you, Abnormally Distributed. You can find him on Twitter. Really like straight shooter. He's always in the chat. I don't know if he's in here yet, but he knows what he's doing. I wasn't able to pull stuff just because I was busy yesterday, so I get this stuff from his sheet, and then I just take out the laps of like 225 seconds or whatever. Nemechek. When we look at Nemechek's times, these first 3 laps, he got in heavy traffic. The first lap, I don't know if you guys were watching practice or paying attention, his first lap, he flies into turn 1. And this fucking scrub, I don't know who it was. It was I'm pretty sure it was probably Perkins. It was a bright, no, it may have been Parsons. Because I think Parsons is doing double duty this weekend, right? I need to answer this because, yeah, I'm pretty sure, no, it was not. It may be Blaine. Perkins maybe. Whatever. I know it's a bright yellow car. Whatever. Anywho. So Nemechek flies into turn 1, and this scrub, leaving pit lane, like getting up to speed, goes from the apron up into the groove in turn 1, and Nemechek has to take like a fucking face of maneuvers and just flies up the track and completely kills his first lap. Okay? So he comes around, finishes this lap at like a fucking slow-ass time compared to what he should be running. He does it again. Everybody's, entering pit lane. He gets through 1. He gets through the tunnel turn. He gets into turn 3, and we have 2 idiots side by side in turn 3, finishing this lap. So Nemechek takes it 3 wide on the outside lane to finish this lap, which leads to a very slow lap 3 because he's so fucking slow. So these first 3 laps, at least for me, do not represent what the car had, because he was just in heavy traffic, which we've had for other people. Several people, had traffic issues just in practice in general. But this is, I'd like to at least explain that, because Nemechek, in my opinion, had a faster car than these first 3 laps indicate, which is able to back up slightly in practice. But in terms of what I'm doing here, I know I had a Cole Custer question. Where are we at here? I got Custer at 47.35 points today. Yet again, similar to the Truck Series, we just don't have a lot of laps. Is this 90? I don't remember. I have it written down on my projections, but I don't actually. Yeah, this race is 90 laps. I got a big majority of those fast laps and laps led going to Barry, going to Nemechek. Some going to Allgaier, some going to Austin Hill, some going to Chase Elliott, and stuff like that. And then, a small amount going to Custer and stuff. But the build for this one isn't necessarily as chalky. I think Barry and Nemechek are fantastic plays. Very similar to the Ben Rhodes mispricing, like Austin Hill at 9,500. That's just off. I don't understand that. I think he easily pays this off. I think Austin Hill ends up being a really, really good play. I like Herbst. If you look back at this year, Herbst has carried speed. He's carried good setups. He's sorry, I'm clicking through a lot of stuff over here. I don't mean to sound like that. I hate when I sound like KSI. Being like, well, they have good speeds, they have good setups. I was clicking through a lot of things. Riley Herbst, or Stuart Haas in the Xfinity Series has had a lot of speed. Custer, took him a while, whether it was a mental barrier, he just couldn't get through for like the first month and a half. He just struggled. At the same time, Riley Herbst carried the same speed that Custer would have in practice and in the race, and he would end up, finishing very well. Riley Herbst on intermediates this year indicates to me that he can easily pay off his price tag of $8,400 and probably be a top 12 car, if not higher. this race goes green. Same thing with Chandler Smith. He's starting 16th. I would much rather play Chandler Smith. I'd much rather get to Herbst. I'd much rather get to Hill than for Cole Custer for me. And I know that these guys are slightly cheaper than Cole Custer, so it isn't like a one-to-one comparison, but that type of build makes more sense to me. Even Corey Heim in the Sam Hunt car, starting 15th, I'd kind of want to play him over Cole Custer. The good thing is we get Hemrick starting second, we get Connor starting fourth, even Connor at 7,200 in the Joe Gibbs machine makes sense. But we have Hemrick starting second, we have Connor starting fourth, we have Jones starting seventh. Okay, so realistically, that's 3 guys in the top 10 that are going to lose positions. Whether they fall out of the top 10, whether they just lose position, they're not viable for DFS. We also lose. I don't know if they. Also, secondly, real quick tangent here. Not a real tangent, but so who did Kyle Weatherman get hired by? Is Kyle Weatherman going to the 31 car in the Cup Series? Who is Weatherman working for? Nobody's talked about this at all this weekend, but Weatherman is not in the 4 car this week. He's out fucking doing sim tests for GM and for Chevrolet. Why is some random bum Xfinity guy in the Chevy simulator if he did not just get hired by somebody? Okay? NASCAR reporters, can anybody get an update? Can anybody update me? Can anybody tell us like what the fuck's going on? Is Weatherman going to the 31 car in the Cup Series next year? Where is Weatherman going? Why is he sim testing for Chevrolet? Anywho, we don't have Alex Labaine. We don't have Garrett Smithley in the race. I think that's pretty significant because when I rank them, I have Alex Labaine scoring 25 points. I have Garrett Smithley scoring 21 points. I got Labaine finishing and I'll explain why I'm saying this. I got Labaine finishing 21st. I got Smithley finishing 27th. Why is this important? Because typically they're the place differential plays that we want to use. And they really are pushing down some of these other guys in the back. I mean, Perkins starts last, whatever the fuck we want to do there. Earnhardt's not going to be able to do anything. Chad Chastain's not going to be able to do anything. Because I have these guys finishing in the mid-20s, it pushes everybody else down. Like it really does hinder the bottom and the back part of the starting grid in a pretty significant fashion. So I think it forces you to go to Josh Williams in a lot of situations, possibly Joe Graff Jr., because Joe Graff Jr. is in the RSS car this weekend. Ty Dillon in the fucking 3 RCR car, like, what are we doing, Ty? I'm sorry, man. I got more Ty Dillon shirts than I think any fucking guy from RCR outside of Earnhardt. You gotta hang it up, Ty. Please get the fuck out of here, brother. But like Ty, $7,100 should be able to pay that off pretty easily. It's an RCR car, dude. Austin Hill and Creed are gonna fucking attempt to kill the field with their speed. Ty, I know you can get this bitch into 14th. Anywho, in terms of value, going back to my talk, like I think it makes Williams a play. I think Joe Graff Jr. is a play. I'm really trying to play the car and not the driver here at Pocono. And I mean, that's kind of my 2 cents there in terms of building lineups and stuff. Let's see what you guys are saying, then we can talk more about Xfinity and stuff. Also, thank you very much, 5080 you guys being here, or 5080 you guys here, spending your Saturday morning with me. Thank you very much. Let's see. Thoughts on Custer, Stewie? I have Stewie. I have no idea who Stewie is. I have no comments to offer for Xfinity. Let's see. What's Saberson telling me? I mean, everybody I just talked about. Oh, Kyle Sieg as well. Kyle Sieg is filling out a lot of lineups for me, which is interesting. I have him at 25 points today. And I got Williams for 26. So I'm really, really curious. I need to look at the lines that it's using Sieg over Williams in, because it has to be ones that I don't have the money for Williams. Let's see. I mean, yeah, I think that's it. I'm really scared of these guys in the back, man. I don't know if they can do much outside of Rex. But like Jeffrey Earnhardt is not going to go from like fucking 35th to 29th on his own. They just don't have the speed. Alpha Beta Prime don't have the speed in those cars, man. Ryan Ellis starting 27 just caps him. He can't really do much of anything else. I can't believe we don't have Garrett Smithley or Alex LeBay in the pool. I just can't believe it, man. I don't know. That's crazy. That takes away so many value plays. It makes the value range so fucking hideous and ugly. If I were to play a value range guy, where are we at? Who would I play outside of the people I've already talked about? It would probably be Brennan Poole, and then probably Perkins. But man, outside of that, I think it's pretty dead. I think this range is pretty dead. It's Pocono. I can't emphasize enough. Focus on place differential. Place differential. But like focus on from the good cars. Focus primarily on finishing position. There's a huge discrepancy. We're not going to see a lot of passing outside of restarts, and we're certainly not going to see a lot of passing outside of the first stage. Because once all that shakes through, outside of strategy, outside of pit road strategy, you're going to be running where you're at. And who are the cars that are going to have the speed starting, towards the back of the field? It's Herbst. I mean, Suarez in the colleague car, I guess. But Chandler Smith, Corey Austin Hill, Herbst, those are the type of guys that I really want to target. And then in terms of winning the race, I think it's Nemechek. I think Barry has a good chance. Even Creed, man. Creed's got a real chance. Those are the three guys I'd look at to win the race. Let's see. Oh, Friesen. I don't even know where Friesen is starting. 16th, man, needs 40 points. What do I got him for? Yeah, I think Friesen's a decent play. So what's that? He needs 10th. He needs around 10th to 9th to hit right at value without a fast lap or anything. Yeah, I think Friesen's in there as well. He's been... Let's see where he's been finishing. He's had speed and intermediates. That's what I mean. Like, you can get to Kyle Busch easily. Like, even take Rhodes out, put Friesen in, or run them together and stuff. You got money to get to Kyle. You got money to leave money on the table for trucks and stuff. I think Friesen makes a lot of sense. And probably if I don't get to Rhodes, I'll probably get to Stuart Friesen. Secondly, I gotta. I'm not trying. I think we're kind of done talking DFS here. Last thing here, I was listening to Stack and Denny's during truck qualifying. I almost never listen to those guys. No offense to Jordan. I think Jordan's very smart. I don't know, man. Roto. I just don't get anything useful from that. I was talking about this in Discord. Now that Pierce, took a long walk off a short pier and stuff and fucked off and left, there's no content out there that's like super thought-provoking for NASCAR. I've kind of simplified either my live shows or my preview stuff because nobody was really watching me going into fucking pit data for fucking 2 hours anyway. I just do it on my own, or I bring it up, or I leave a lot of things out, but there's not a lot of like thought-provoking DFS NASCAR stuff out there anymore. Like the fantasy racing guys with Larkin or whatever, like that, fucking nut. I get nothing from that. Run Pure live show, get nothing from that. And in fact, I just end up being mad listening to them, or like Rotodoc. This week he's talking about the Fords a lot for the Cup Series, okay? And look, man, let me see the practice data. Let me see it. I'm not saying that that's wrong, but I think that's so weird because when you look at the data, Pocono correlates with intermediates, okay? And Rotodoc was mentioning that, well, the Fords are trimmed out, they got less drag down the straightaways. That's going to help them out more. Downforce isn't as important at Pocono because there's no banking. And I'm like, what? Downforce is more important here at Pocono because there is no banking. The downforce that the car body has is more important at a track like this than it is at an intermediate track. So anyway, my main point is just like for me, there's no good content out there at all for NASCAR anymore. I mean, I don't like Pierce, but at least he got my brain thinking about stuff. I don't. I haven't had that. And so anyway, that's my 2 cents. We'll see what you guys are saying. Then I might skedaddle out. I'm not seeing much of anything in terms of comments and stuff. So we've been live for about half an hour. We talked about both races. I think that's mainly it. If you guys have any questions or want to talk to me or support the work that I do, support these shows, you can join the Patreon. You can send some money through the PayPal link description below. And everything past that, guys, thank you very much. And best of luck today in your races. And best of luck tomorrow for F1 and for the Cup Series stuff. I'll be live tomorrow at the... I got to see what time everything starts. I'd like to be live at the end of the F1 race tomorrow. So whenever that happens, I'll probably go live. And yeah, thank you, Big. Thank you, everybody else. I'll see you guys later.